Really? Ninth grade, up in high school, that was your dog, but you don't know. For the right price, they'll set you up to get you raw.
Hello and welcome back to another edition of the 410. My name is Adrian and I'm your host here on the 410 Sports, and we are going to talk about some Raven talk today. We also going to get back into the NBA, do a recap of last night. Definitely want to give an update on kind of what's going on in Raven land. Big game coming up Saturday, playoffs against Pittsburgh. We're going to get into the NBA real quick, then we'll talk about some Raven news. Before we get into that, I'd like to tell everybody thank you. I love you all. Thank you for the support and root me on to keep going with this right here. I love doing it, and I'm going to keep bringing it to you. Please, any ideas, any critique, I'm open for all of that. Please like, subscribe, share to last night's action. So first off, we had Phoenix up against Charlotte. Phoenix, night before, had just went to a new plan. Bradley Beal off the bench, and we're bringing him off the bench. They were able to win that game. So last night, they actually took a loss to Charlotte. Charlotte was on a 10-game losing streak, and they snapped that against Phoenix. LaMelo Ball, he had 32 points, 7 assists, 10 rebounds. Check this sick play out where he threw the ball off the backboard, then made the pass. I mean, there's not too many people in the NBA that would even try something like this. LaMelo definitely is must-see TV. He's very exciting. Devin Booker, in the losing effort, had 39 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. Had really strong game, but just like I said, LaMelo and Charlotte came out and played really hard. Houston against Washington. From here on out, just so you know, we're picking against Washington in every single game that they play in. They are the worst team in the NBA. Unfortunately, I know we're here in the DMV, and I should support them a little bit more, but they're terrible, and that's just what it is. They're lacking some talent, and I just don't know what direction that the Wizards are going in. I definitely wish that they would just bring the team back to Baltimore and let us cultivate winning culture for them. I just don't understand what in the world is going on with them. Jalen Green had 29 points, 2 assists, and 8 rebounds. He's a very strong young player down in Houston. Corey Kispert for Washington had 23 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. So he was at least trying to fight. But Washington, like I said, they are depleted. They lost 135 to 112 to the Houston Rockets at home, by the way. This was probably the most disappointing game of the night. The Lakers against Dallas. Dallas is at home in this game, but of course they're missing Luka and Kyrie. So to me, this was almost the game that I wanted to promote as the lock of the day, but I held my tongue, and I'm glad I did because the Lakers lost this game 118 to 97. I don't understand what's going on there. I was baffled by this whole score and what went on in this game. LeBron and AD played. There's nothing else there. I don't know what they're missing, what they need to do. But like Charles Barkley has been going in on them lately, they're just not good. And them to lose this game right here with Dallas on a losing streak without Kyrie and Luka, it just highlights the fact that there's something wrong out there in Lakerland. Moving on, Minnesota and New Orleans. Zion's back after 27 game absence, and he looked really good last night. They did take a loss to, of course, the Ant and the Minnesota Timberwolves. They were playing really good, 104 to 97. Anthony Edwards had 32 points, 3 assists, 9 rebounds, and DeJounte Murray had 29 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. Zion had 22, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds. And also, check this out, crazy 360 dunk. Once again, not too many people going to be able to do this one. And Zion is must-see TV. I'm glad he's back. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And we love to watch all the highlights and stuff that he brings to the table. We'll see if he moves on from New Orleans, but, you know, he's must-see TV no matter where he's at. Moving on, Atlanta against Utah. Utah was at home. course, I have some family in Utah, so I pay attention to what's going on with them. This game was very, very close. Had the play of the day by Trae Young. He hit a 50-foot buzzer beater to win the game for Atlanta. They ended up winning the game 124-121, like I said, on a last-second shot by Trae Young, Ice Trae, in the building. Check these highlights out from Ice Trae with this three-point shot, and man, I've made a couple in my days, and I know how that feels. Definitely a great feeling. Everybody's excited. Congratulations to him for that. Moving on, Boston and Denver. Denver without Jokic, the Joker. They're a completely different team without the Joker. So obviously I expected them to take the L last night to Boston. Russell Westbrook been holding it down best he can. He's actually still playing really, really high-level basketball down there in Denver. And a lot of people were giving up on Russell Westbrook, but he still brings a lot of value to the table down there. They lost 118-106. Jason Tatum had 29 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Westbrook in a losing effort with 26 points, 6 assists, and 9 rebounds. So he's still playing high-level basketball. The Joker come back, better run at this thing right now, but without him, there's just not a whole lot they can do. Just too many holes to fill without the Joker. Moving on, Miami, Golden State. Miami still without Jimmy Butler. So, obviously they've been trying to hold the fort down, figure something out without him. They went at Steph Curry at home last night. They actually got the W against Steph and them. Bam Adebayo had 19 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds. Steph, in the losing effort, had 31 points, no assists, and 7 rebounds. So Steph, we got to get some assists up, or what that means is that nobody on the team is doing anything except for Steph Curry. He's passing the ball, and they're just looking at him like they don't know what's going on. Hopefully Jimmy Butler can move on, like I said, and they can get some type of return for him in Miami, and we can see him back on the court. But that's your wrap-up for today. So today we're actually going to start a new part of the segment, would be our best bets and bets for the day. We're going to go through all of the different lines on this. This is by request. So I want to go through this with you real quick on what I think tonight is going to look like. The game of the night actually is going to be Oklahoma and Cleveland, 2 of the best teams in the league. Both of them last 10 games, 10-0. So this is the 2 Goliaths going up against each other. Cleveland at home, I think it's going to make the difference. So I think Cleveland is going to pull this one off. Actually got Cleveland covering. If we got to pick against the spread, and you making me do that, I'll do that, and then I'll give you what I think the lock would be tonight. So Cleveland against the spread, -2.5. I'll take them against Oklahoma, even though I think this game will come down to maybe just a shot at the end type of deal. The Chicago-Indiana game, Indiana at home. Both of these teams be playing pretty good. Chicago's getting 5.5 points. I'm going to take that 5.5, thinking that the game might be pretty competitive. Like I said, Indiana's been playing really good ball. I think it'll be a little closer than the 5.5, so I'll take the 5.5 with Chicago on this one. Just like I said earlier, I don't care any game that Washington is playing in, we're picking against Washington. So even if it's just money line, you pick against Washington until further notice. I'll take Philly minus the 11 points, even though I don't know if Embiid is playing. I don't really care if Embiid is playing. They still should be able to beat them by the 11. So I'll take that. Moving on from there would be Detroit against Brooklyn. Brooklyn's on a losing streak at home. They're really bad, just like Washington. You almost want to pick against them almost every game. I'll take Detroit to win the game for sure. This one, unfortunately, I have to pick a spread, so I have to say Detroit minus the 8, even though I don't think that they'll cover, but maybe they will. Detroit money line is the play, but if I have to pick against the spread, I'm definitely not picking with Brooklyn in anything, that's for sure. Moving on past that, we have the Toronto and New York game. Toronto on the road against New York. I don't know if Cat is playing. He bit me the other night by not playing last minute. So I'm scared to tell you to pick New York, but I'm definitely not going to tell you to pick Toronto. So if we have to pick somebody in this game, we're going to go see New York minus the 11.5, even though if Cat isn't playing, I would strongly advise just taking them on the money line and maybe even taking Toronto with the points, but it's just hard for me to stomach taking Toronto with anything. Moving on past that, Portland, New Orleans, like I said, Zion's back. I don't know if they're going to play him on a back-to-back, so that's probably my biggest concern about picking this game. If Zion is going to play, then obviously we're going to take New Orleans minus the 2.5. If he's not playing, then it's hard for me to tell you to take Portland on the road, but it's also tough for me to take New Orleans without Zion either. So right now, we'll just say Zion is going to play, New Orleans minus the 2.5 for now. Moving on past that, the Clippers against Denver. Once again, Denver without Jokic at home. There's a struggle there all day long. They're depleted. There's nothing that they can really do. The Clippers, on the other end, they've been very feisty, very competitive all year, so I definitely look for them to fight in this game and pull out the win. And Denver's coming on back-to-back too, so I think that'll play a factor in them taking a loss tonight. So I'll take the Clippers. Once again, I'm scared of the spread on this game. It's going to probably be a close game. The Clippers like to play close games, but I'll go ahead and take the minus 2.5 on this game with the Clippers. Past that, another game I want to watch tonight, Milwaukee and San Antonio. Wembanyama, must-see TV all the time. Giannis and Damian Lillard, they've been playing great ball up there. Like I said, they won the cup, and they're on a mission to try to win the championship this year. If you ever watch Giannis play against Wembanyama, he goes hard. So I would definitely lean towards Milwaukee, and even taking Milwaukee minus the 5.5 on this one. Once again, look for Giannis to go really hard at Wembanyama. Every time I watched him play against Wembanyama, he's tried to send a message. And so I don't think there'll be anything different tonight. So that's what I have as far as going down the line. Now, if we talk about locks for the night, and if you're going to hold me accountable, I don't mind. I'm not scared. We'll go ahead and do it like that. If you think that you want to put some money on the line tonight for some action, if you want to play it safe, you could play this play right here, and I think you'll come out victorious tomorrow. Philly in the money line, like we talked about, we're going to pick against Washington every time. Detroit money line, we're going to pick against Brooklyn almost every time as well. Like I said, Brooklyn's on a losing streak at home, so I'm confident taking Detroit. And then also with them take Milwaukee money line against Wembanyama. Now, for me, I'll take Milwaukee minus them 5.5. Like I said, I think they're going to go hard. But if you want to play it safe, Philly money line, Detroit money line, Milwaukee money line, that should double your money, or just about double your money, I believe, where the odds were standing this morning. And that should make you some money. Moving on, like I said, we're going to talk some Raven talk real quick. I know everybody's excited about the game. Once again, like, subscribe, the 410, yours truly, Adrian. And we're going to talk about what's going on here moving forward to our playoff victory here on Saturday against Pittsburgh. I know Zay Flowers didn't practice yesterday. Justice Hill did practice, however. So we do have another piece that's coming back in the fold. I'm here to tell you, I know if Zay plays or doesn't play, I'm not overly concerned about that. To be honest with you, Pittsburgh has scored not over 17 in their last 5 games, I believe it is. So we're looking at, if we score 20 points in the game, then we should be able to win the game because Pittsburgh has struggled on offense. Now, with that being said, Zay Flowers, yes, he's been a big piece to our puzzle this year. Has he been the only piece to the puzzle this year? No. So I'm not going to let the Ravens off the hook with this one and say, oh, if Zay's not playing, oh, we have a long road ahead of us, anything like that. Not even close. We still have quite a few Pro Bowl weapons on offense, namely Lamar Jackson, number 1, Derrick Henry, number 2, Mark Andrews, number 3. We have plenty of weapons to get whatever job done we need on offense. We can go to a centralized run game and win the game. We can pretty much win this game a couple of different ways, whether Zay plays or not. So if Zay's not healthy, I would prefer that he didn't play because we're going to need him the next game. We can take care of Pittsburgh without Zay Flowers, no problem. Like I said, Pittsburgh's our rival, and I never disrespect them and say that they're not going to fight us to the end. But right now, I think there's some turmoil out there in Pittsburgh. They're not all on the same page. I think Russell Wilson has digressed since the beginning of the year. Whatever the case may be, victory on Saturday for the Ravens is in store. And I'm putting all of my money on that. Thank you for tuning in today on the 410. Adrian, I got some more for you. Check it out later on. Once again, like and subscribe. We're going to keep this thing going.